Welcome to our final wrap up. Module 10, Part 2, Multicultural Education is going to be our longest wrap up so far. We're going to pull things all together. So bear with me as we walk through these slides, and I'll give you little bits of information as we walk along. First, multiculturalism. What it is not, it's not a process of trying to make everyone else like the dominant group. As we've talked all along in this semester, this is really important that we look at diversity and exploring how it is we're going to embrace diversity. This is about the coexistence of diverse cultures that includes race and religions and other cultural groups and ways of thinking. When we're integrating multicultural education, first of all, let's be eager learners. As teachers and professionals, let's learn from the students and the people that surround us who have cultural identities different from our own. Let's learn about what it is that brings them to this place. And use this knowledge to help us in our learning and to help our students in their cultural identities. And then let's promote human rights. This is our activism. This is where we get to look at equality and equity and social justice and democracy. This is where we get to take a look at all those different isms and bring them together. Let's believe that all children can learn. Let's take a look at those who are struggling and how are we going to bring equity to our learning environment. How are we going to connect lessons to students' lives? What do they need to hear about? If there's a fire going on in our community, let's talk about it. Let's make that applicable to what's going on in their lives right now. Let's engage with challenges. Let's let the children be stretched and work with them and their parents. Keep our expectations high. We can arise to the occasion, and so when the bar is held high, let's kick it. When it's not, then typically people will just hobble over it. So hold our high expectations, not unreasonable, but let's challenge the children and people that we work with. I'd like you to look at your disposition. How is it that you face your workplace? How is it that you face your days? Do you enter your workplace and your professional relationships or your personal ones as well with a sense of happiness and contentment and peace, or not? Your disposition is going to influence the interactions that surround you. One of the complaints from students is that teachers don't know them or care to know them. Those of you who are going into the educational profession, please ask yourself, are you showing caring concern to the people you work with? Caring teachers do this. They honor their students and their families. They overcome their biases, what we've spent an entire semester looking at, recognizing what biases look like, recognizing what some truths are, dispelling myths. Patience, persistent, supportive, caring teachers are all of these things. They're passionate, they're interested and interesting, they care about the material. They create a social arena for learning. So interaction between people, interactions with the instructor themselves. They know that we learn best when we're surrounded by a caring learning environment. And they provide a positive role modeling. Are they living what they're teaching? We also know that including the family is super important. And this is the biggest barrier in communicating and working effectively with families, is this communication process. Sometimes professionals have this attitude that they know more than the families or that they're above them. That can be very off-putting. So keep yourself in check. What is the attitude that you have towards the families you work with? The second barrier is how the family members treat the child care providers and teachers. So how are you being treated as a professional? And if you're not appreciating how you're being treated, what can you do to alter that? Remember, we can't change another person's behavior, but we can change. We can change and be aware of how we respond. That is like the key. The most important part is how that we know that we can alter how we respond. I like to talk about pushing the pause button before responding. If someone comes to me with contentious attitudes, wants to pick a fight, or is angry about something, I choose to not immediately knee jerk react because that's not going to be appropriate. My knee jerk reaction might not be all embracing. It's not going to be empathetic. Am I going to be able to see that the situation from that other person's point of view? Probably not. I need to push the pause button and then respond. As caring professionals, we need to remove barriers to partnerships. Be aware of generalizations. Are we using we, they language? Are we stereotyping? Oh, this is what all of those people need? That's not going to be effective. When you're bothered by something, self-reflect. When a situation comes up and you can feel that your buttons are being pushed or that you're feeling a little bit of animosity, take a minute. Take as much time as you need to self-reflect. Why is it you're feeling like that? Be aware of how powerful your role is as a professional. And educators, we have very powerful roles. We set an example for so many people. Work on your own self-care and self-esteem, being self-assertive. If you're feeling walked on or feeling as if you're being oppressed, that's not going to be helpful for you as a professional. Find avenues for you to lift your esteem and to do self-care, and continue to learn about the families that surround you. When we're creating a sense of community, which is something that I've been working out with you all semester, I really wanted you to feel like you were part of the community, and I hope you did. Listen to what parents want for their children and listen to what the children want for their children. Talk about dreams. What do the parents want for their child? What does a child want for himself? What do the people surrounding you want for their lives? Learn about identity formation, as we talked about earlier in this semester. How does that form? What are the messages that we're giving the people we work with? Keep in mind that the message that you send to the children are very important messages. And are they appropriate? My hope is that they are, and that you're being very deliberate about sending appropriate, empathetic, compassionate messages. Huge. Know yourself and your identity formation. What are you about? What are your beliefs? What are your biases? What is it that you know that you're working on to become a better person? So as we're doing this wrap up for this semester, I just embrace and empower all of the changes you're making so that you can be the very best professional you can be. And my hope is that you have found some transformation in your own personal life and in your professional demeanor. My hope is that you have discovered parts about yourself that you are working on, and that you're also discover parts of yourself that you would truly adore and love, and know that you get to be the change you wish to see in this world. Thank you.